The United States and China seem to be on a collision course. Tensions are mounting between the two sides over a number of disputes. U.S. relations with self-ruled Taiwan are perhaps the most serious bone of contention. A major Chinese newspaper has called on Beijing to prepare for military action in response to a newly approved law in the United States that seeks to boost ties with Taiwan. The Daily has also asked the Chinese government to pressure Washington by reviewing cooperation on North Korea. China has been infuriated by the Taiwan Travel Act, recently endorsed by President Donald Trump. The law authorizes high-level visits to the self-ruled island. The Chinese president recently warned that any attempt to divide China will be thwarted. Beijing considers Taiwan a breakaway region that must one day be reunited with the mainland. Beijing has never ruled out the use of force to bring the island under its control. The Chinese government has long voiced concern about the growing trade and military ties between the US and Taiwan.
I think the danger here is that the U.S. is seriously miscalculating exactly what Taiwan means to mainland China. Trump thinks that this is a card that he can play in his game of trying to lessen the deficit, but that is not the case.
Bilateral trade between China and the U.S. is another area that's threatening to become a dangerous battlefield. The U.S. president has taken a tough line on what he describes as trade law violations by China. On Thursday, he ordered tariffs on about $50 billion worth of Chinese imports over alleged intellectual property theft.
We have a tremendous intellectual property theft situation going on, which likewise is hundreds of billions of dollars, and that's on a yearly basis. I've spoken to the president, I've spoken to representatives of China. We've been dealing with it very seriously.
The move comes on the heels of American steel and aluminum tariffs that mainly affect imports from China. Beijing, meanwhile, is not sitting idly by. It has warned of painful retaliatory measures. The dispute could escalate into a global trade war with devastating consequences even for America's economy. Experts believe many major American companies will be pushed out of business if a trade war breaks out.
The array of things that China could do, which would have serious effect on the United States, is incredible. I mean, 40% of the U.S. Soybean crop goes to China. Even if they were to say we will only buy half as much, we would see bankruptcies throughout the Farm Belt, which had supported Donald Trump. 15% of the wheat, once again, same issue. If you start talking about Boeing planes, they simply cancel their orders, and you would literally have tens of thousands of people thrown out of their jobs.
America's national security strategy, released by the Trump administration last year, views China as a strategic competitor with a repressive vision. Observers believe the United States is doing all it can to contain its main strategic rival. Washington is apparently using bilateral trade and its relations with Taiwan to pressure Beijing. Donald Trump has made no secret of his plans to confront the world's second-largest economy. Since taking office last year, he has been taking provocative measures that have soured relations with Beijing.
And he continues on this path. Some people believe that he's simply using this to change the narrative in Washington away from his ills with the women who are suing him for sexual harassment, the Russiagate situation, and the defections within his own White House.
Observers warn that such confrontational approach will probably affect U.S.-China cooperation in different fields.